The spell of the Fae forced you to tell them your name. The Fae looks at you with pure horror, while you look at them confused, because that was definitely not your name. Having my quiet little camping spot away from civilization, where I could process my emotions from the breakup, so fantastically interrupted, caused a level of annoyance that I didn't at all manage to hide from my face. And while I turned and sat down on the grassy bank behind me, pulled out my cigarettes from my jacket pocket, retrieved a single smoke and lit it, puffing away indignantly at the disruption of my grumpy solitude. The absolute scale of the crowd was somewhat of a shock. Every single nook and cranny of both my side of the stream and the far side of the stream held the same blonde pointy-eared figures. Even a casual glimpse above the waterfall showed more of them knelt, all facing my direction. They just knelt there, unmoving, none of them speaking again for the entire time it took to smoke my cigarette and flicked it into my small campfire. Besides the noise of the waterfall, the light breeze and a mosquito buzzing around for a short moment before the smoke of the campfire sent it away, there wasn't a single noise from the gathered assembly around and above me. Finally the first woman, the one who wore the reddish-brown thorn crown, raised her bright purple eyes to meet mine. "You do not know?" she asked, almost pleadingly. As if I had offended her in some way. Offended her? This lady who had brought her LARP group into my remote campsite. I was offending her? What kind of bullshit was this even? It was about this point I realized that a LARP group being 30 kilometers into the remote wilderness was highly unlikely. And while I did consider the potential for some sort of hidden cult or commune in that moment, the reality I wasn't looking at humans slowly melted into my perception. For one, every single one of them could have been related. Their faces near gaunt in a manner almost alien to a human face, in the way the face of someone who is suffering through addiction, has the meat of their face seemed to pull back tight against the skull. Unnatural in a human, yet in these people, seeming to fit there. Their skulls aren't shaped like a human's. This whole process, passed in between breaths, her eyes still locked on my own. She rose, her white garment still somehow untarnished by her time, knelt on the soft ground. She placed a hand over her heart. At least I assumed that was the motion. In a human, yes, but if these were not humans, would her heart still be there? She broke through my soon-to-spiral train of thoughts as she spoke. "I am the goddess Danu, the mother of the forest. You Kernunos are my once and future mate. The lord of the forest." She smiled, her bright purple eyes seemed to capture the warmth of the sun, even within the shadows of the waterfall gully. And for all the world, even having put together I was looking at a woman from an entirely different species. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. "You're what?"